In today's class, we are going to learn about compounds. Before that, what we have learned in our last class? In our last class, we have learned about elements. What are elements? Elements are pure substances that cannot be broken into other substances by any physical or chemical means are called elements. Say some examples of elements: hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, chlorine, potassium, etc. Then what else we need to know about these elements? How these elements are called? We call these elements as chemical symbols. These elements are represented as chemical symbols. We have learned about many symbols, right? What is the symbol for carbon? C. Symbol for hydrogen? H. Symbol for nitrogen? N. Chlorine? Cl. So, based upon this, the representation of symbols are divided into three types. That is, when we consider an element, that is carbon. Consider carbon as an element. When we consider carbon as an element, the symbol is the first letter C. That is the first type. That is represented by first letter. It is represented with caps, capital letter. Then the second type is, what is the second type? When we have two or three elements having same first letter, what we will do? We will take two letters. For example, carbon and chlorine. Both has first letter C. For carbon, we represent it as capital C, and for chlorine it is Cl. Chromium, Cr. Then the next type of representation is using its Greek or its original language, from which language the name is derived. From that we give names. Did you understand? In today's class we are going to learn about compounds. What are compounds? Compounds are substances which are formed by the combination of two or more elements. We have to combine two or more elements to form compounds. Here's the example for compound. This is H2O. What is H2O? Water molecule. H2O is the formula for water molecule. H2O is a compound. Hydrogen is an element. Oxygen is an element. Example for elements are hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, potassium, chlorine, chromium, etc. Here, compounds are the combination or formed by combining two or more elements. So, hydrogen is an element, oxygen is an element. These both combine together to form water molecule. It is in the ratio 2:1. Proportion. It's proportion. Hydrogen 2 molecules, oxygen 1. So, it is in the proportion 2:1. Did you understand? One more example, it is sugar. The representation of sugar is C2H12O6. So, 2 molecules of carbon, 12 molecules of hydrogen and 6 molecules of oxygen. These are all elements. Carbon is an element, hydrogen is an element and oxygen is an element. So, compound means two or more elements combined together to form compounds. Or water molecule is a compound. Then NaCl, that is table salt. The salt we use is a combination of sodium and chlorine, NaCl. Sodium 1 molecule, chlorine 1 molecule. So, its proportion is 1:1. So, did you understand what is compounds? Of compounds. Compounds are formed by the combination of elements. Now, what are the characteristics of compounds again? Compounds. For elements, how we represented elements? Elements are represented using chemical symbols, right? Here, compounds are represented using chemical formula. For example, water molecule. Water has the chemical formula H2O. Here H is an element, O is an element. H is the symbol for hydrogen, O is the symbol for oxygen. Do you understand? H2O. In this, H has 2 atoms of hydrogen element. O has only 1 atom of oxygen element. This combines together to form water molecule. The next property is the fixed. That is, what is the meaning of fixed? Fixed means we cannot change that. It is fixed. That is, consider water molecule. We are taking water from well, water from bore well, water from tap, water from river, water as rain, etc. In many forms, we are getting rain, right? Whether this chemical formula for water will vary for this well water, rain water, pond water, etc. No, right? The chemical formula will not vary. That is the second characteristics. The chemical composition is fixed from wherever we take, from India, Tamil Nadu, Australia, from wherever we take the water. The chemical formula, the chemical composition of the water will not vary. Then the next property is, you are having water molecule has, another example we can consider. This is sugar. The sugar we eat now will be very sweet in taste, right? From this sweet in taste, the sugar is made up of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. This hydrogen generally we get from, it is obtained as granites, diamond, etc. Carbon will be available in nature in marbles, diamond, this forms. Then the next, hydrogen and oxygen are colorless gases. They both are gases. So these 3 elements, all these 3 elements, hydrogen, carbon and oxygen do not have the taste of sugar. Then how this sugar taste comes? During this composition, after mixing all these 3, we get this sugar taste. So the third characteristics is the compound sugar, when we consider C2H12O6, and when we consider these elements before we combining this, that is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, this don't have same properties. The elements and the compound does not possess same properties. Do you understand? Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen combine together in a particular proportion. Its proportion is 2, 12, 6. It combines in this proportion. Before combining this, it is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. After combining and before combining, the properties does not match. Did you understand? Then the fourth characteristics is chemically broken. While we consider this carbon, hydrogen and oxygen sugar solution, it can be chemically broken, but physically we cannot separate this into 3 characters, that is carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. This sugar cannot be physically separated, but it can be chemically broken. Did you understand the characteristics of compounds? Compounds are represented as chemical formulas. For example, H2O, it has 2 elements, hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen, 2 atoms of hydrogen, 1 atom of oxygen. Then the fixed property. What is fixed? From wherever we get water, the water will be in the composition of H2 and O. That is fixed. Then elements have different properties while it exists as element or compound. Compound does not possess the characteristics of element and elements does not possess the characteristics of compounds. Next one is the compounds. That is, the compounds can be chemically broken but it cannot be physically broken. Did you understand what is compound and the characteristics of compounds? Then the next one is mixtures. We have learned about elements, then compounds, then the next one is mixtures. For mixtures, we can consider an example. Consider a salt in one bowl and sugar in one bowl. Just mix it together. What will happen? They both will remain as salt and sugar, but it will be in the same bowl. It is called mixture. That is, substances combine together physically. Sand is a substance. Sorry, salt is a substance. Sugar is a substance. They are combined together physically, but there will be no chemical reactions. The chemical properties will not change. Mixture means mixing one or more substances physically is called a mixture. For example, salt and sugar, sand with sugar, then mix a syrup with water, take some syrup and mix some water in it, no chemical combination changes. It is called mixtures. Now what we can see one example to differentiate between what is mixture and what is compound. See here, we have taken one bowl, that is iron, then sulfur powder. Just mix it, this iron and sulfur, you are mixing it in one bowl. We get a mixture. That is, here physically we are mixing this iron and sulfur in one bowl. We get this mixture, iron sulfur mixture. Then one more thing, you take a test tube, take it in the test tube holder, then you burn it. These two substances, that is iron and sulfur, we have to burn it. While burning, what will happen? A new substance called iron sulfide is formed. What is formed? A new substance called iron sulfide is formed. Its chemical properties also changed. So, this is an example for compound. Here, this mixture is an example for mixtures. In this mixtures, when we put magnet inside this mixture, it has iron and sulfur, right? When we put one magnet inside this iron and sulfur mixture, we can get all the iron pieces attached to the magnet. Did you understand the difference between mixture and compounds? Mixture, no chemical properties changes. The chemical properties remains the same, only the physical. Physically, the both compounds or both substances are mixed. Compounds means the chemical properties changes. Did you understand? The next one is types of mixtures. Here we have 6 types of mixtures. First one is solid mixture. That is, solid is mixed in solid. Example, stones in rice. Stone is solid, rice is also a solid. Mixing solid and solid is a type of mixture. Next, solid in liquid. Consider sugar or salt, it is solid. That is solid, it is, I have written as L is liquid and G is gas. Solid, example, sugar, salt, it is mixed in water, liquid. Next one is solid in gas. It is smoke. Smoke contains small particles suspended in it with air. Smoke will be looking like small, very small particles suspended in that, right? So, that is solid and gas. Smoke is a gas. It is an example for solid gas. Next one is liquid. Mixing water and alcohol. Mixing any two liquid is called liquid. Next one is gas, liquid. Consider carbon dioxide in soft drinks. That is, while we open the bottles of Fanta, Coca-Cola, soft drinks like this, when we open, gases come out, right? That is an example for gas in liquid. Then the last one is gas in gas. Consider air. We have many gases like hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, etc. combined in air. That is gas in gas. So, what are the examples of, what are the types of mixtures? Solid in solid, solid in liquid, solid in gas, liquid in liquid, liquid in gas and gas in gas. Do you understand? Two more types of mixtures are explained. What are they? They are homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. Now we can learn what is homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures. Come to homogeneous mixtures. For homogeneous mixtures, consider an example: water, sugar. You are taking sugar and water. When you think that you are mixing this water and sugar. Now we can see what is homogeneous mixture. It is uniform. Uniform means when we mix this water and salt, the taste of the sugar or taste of the salt is uniform in the amount of water you have taken. Which part of the water if you take and drink, the taste of the salt is uniform. That is, the heterogeneous mixtures are uniform and not seen. After mixing the salt in that water, can we see that sugar or salt mix? So we cannot see the particles after mixing. Then here they have given about two things. One is solution. What is solution? Two things combined together to form solution. In water and sugar, sugar and water combine together to form a solution. So solution means it is a mixture of two or more substances. We are considering sugar solution. In that, water and sugar are the components. The components are mixed together to form solution. Here two words we have learned. It is solute and solvent. What is solute and what is solvent? Consider water and sugar. We are mixing that. We are getting sugar solution. In that, what is the solvent and what is the solute? Sugar is the solute and water is the solvent. The substance which makes the solute to dissolve is called solvent, and the substance which is dissolving in the solution, that is dissolving in the solvent, is called solute. For example, in sugar solution, sugar is the solute and water is the solvent. Generally, the solution is a combination of solute and solvent. Did you understand? And in particular temperature, after a particular temperature, any solvent cannot make the solute to dissolve. That stage is called saturated. If the solution is not able to dissolve the solute above a particular temperature, that stage is called saturated. That is, when the solution is not allowing the solute to dissolve, we will say that it is the solution is saturated. Then the next one is alloy. Alloy is a mixture of metal with metal or metal with non-metal. A metal should be there. This metal can be combined with another metal or it can be combined with non-metal. For example, gold. Gold is an alloy of gold and copper. How they will make gold? Gold they will combine gold and copper, then they will again melt and they will get the alloy of gold. From that we can make the ornaments. One more example is bronze. Bronze is an alloy of copper. Copper can be mixed with tin or aluminium. We will get this bronze. Did you understand what is homogeneous mixture? Homogeneous mixture is uniform. That is, the substance dissolving in the solvent is distributed uniformly throughout that solvent. Then we cannot see the substance after dissolving because it is uniformly distributed and it is completely dissolved, so that we cannot see the substance after dissolving. Then solution is a combination of solute and solvent. Example, sugar solution. Then saturated, when the solution at a particular temperature is not ready to or not in a state to dissolve some solute, the particular temperature or particular state of the solution is called saturated. Then alloys. Alloys is a combination of metals with metals or metals with non-metals. Example, gold, bronze. Next is heterogeneous mixture. Heterogeneous mixture is non-uniform. For example, you consider a bowl of water and mix some chalk piece powder inside that water. We can see that particles, right? Chalk particles. So it is not distributed uniformly. After sometimes, if you allow this chalk powder dissolved in the water to settle down, it will settle down, right? So it is not uniformly distributed. It will be settled in bottom. So in the top areas, no chalk powder will be there. So the distribution is non-uniform, and we can see that it is visible. The chalk powder is visible. So homogeneous mixtures, the particles are visible even after mixing. Then the next one is example, chalk in water. It is suspension. What is suspension? The same. Chalk in water is an example for suspension. Suspension means the particles suspend in the water. When we allow it to settle down, it will settle down in the bottom. That is called suspension. Then the next one is emulsion. Emulsion are immiscible liquids. That is, in emulsion we have to add two liquids. Consider water and oil. When we add this water and oil in a single bowl, they both will not mix together. It is called immiscible. So what is heterogeneous? Heterogeneous mixtures are non-uniform and the particles in heterogeneous mixtures are visible. Example, chalk in water. What is suspension? Suspension is a solution in which the particles suspend. The particles are visible. The particles move here and there in that liquid. Example, chalk in water. Emulsion. Emulsion is a liquid which are immiscible. Mixture of liquids which are immiscible. Two liquids, oil and water, which will not mix together. That is called emulsion. Did you understand today's class? What we have learned? Compounds and mixtures. So in the next class, what we will learn? Today we have learned about compound mixtures. How compounds are formed combining elements. How mixtures are formed combining two or more substances. Mixtures are formed. Next class we can learn about how we can separate the elements, or how we can separate the compounds from mixtures. So I hope you all clear about today's class. We can meet in the next class.